I'm anticipating taking a break from creating serious content, reflective content. I'm probably going to do some gaming content, so I'm likely to post on my gaming TikTok profile because I don't want to sort of swamp my main profile with gaming content. I don't mind sporadically, but if it gets a bit more, just a bit more deeper, really, I'm going to end up having to put it somewhere else. But yeah, I just want to talk about something just briefly before I really take a hiatus, and that is being righteous or being promiscuous and tempted. You know, there's so many. The differences are quite profound, and the results have a deep um, effect on our life, really. So, effectively, when you follow the path of the righteous, which of course it's a choice, but really it's a calling. It's an innate feeling within yourself. It's literally just being authentic to you. If you feel an urge just to do the right things at the right time, it's just part of your purpose, you know. And it's kind of like you're just embracing who you are. So we all have a destiny and a purpose, and we're going to come here and live unique lives. We're going to live our life on our terms. But sometimes people fight against that, and they try just to give in to temptation everywhere. They lose part of themselves, and that's the problem with it. It's like, yeah, life can be exciting. That's why they say sometimes people live life in the fast lane, but very rarely do you see those having a very long, fulfilling life. It'll be short lived. Um, and it's really up to people, really, how they choose. Now, of course, that's an example. It doesn't mean your life is going to be short lived, but the reality is you'll probably be filled with many regrets for maybe some of the things you wish you hadn't done, which you did. So this swings and roundabouts. I talk about it a lot. When you follow the path of the righteous, life can seem, in comparison, relatively boring, mundane, and tedious. Um, and it gets like that for me. I get really fed up. It's like, why can't there just be a fair balance to this? But the thing is, you know, when you account for your energy, you hold it sacred and it's precious. Um, so it just means certain things that abuse your energy, you're not going to put yourself in. So, like I say, on the one hand, it can seem like someone's living a great life, an exciting life, and it can seem like, you know what, I want that. But what you don't see is the after effect of that, the self-loathing. You know, not, and it's really the devaluation of themselves, and they have to live with the consequence of that, of course. So, a lot of the time, to fill that void, they continue to repeat the pattern, and it can seem exciting on the outside, and we think, you know what, that's an experience, but what you don't see is the other side of that. So, although I get fed up and life can seem boring sometimes, my value of self, it's always high, you know. I never devalue me. I never give in to temptation. Um, I don't know. I just really want to put that into perspective with people because although life maybe as you're going on a healing journey, life can seem boring in comparison. Ultimately, it's leading us where we're supposed to go, though, where you can live a far more luxurious and balanced life, where you can actually handle what is to come. I think that's a big part of it. It's if you give in to temptation all the time and you're wayward, of course, if you was ever to give a better opportunities, it's you wouldn't be able to handle it. It would handle you. You know, so you would lose control. And like I say, you see people, they, they lose life early. It's crazy to me. So although life can be boring in a transition phase of the journey, and especially at the beginning when you go through a transformation, it can actually get quite beautiful in the future. I'm just looking at the time there. I had 11:12 on the time, and the date was the 12th of the 11th. If you was in America, for instance, you'd have it the other way around. So it's the 12th of November. So normally in America, I think they do the month and the day. It's a bit weird how it's all backwards. But anyway, 11:12, and then I saw 12:11 on on the date, and I was like, well, that's a synchronicity right there. I was going to show a video just briefly because why not? As you can see, I'm sort of losing it a little bit in terms of my interest. It's waning. I've always wanted to help people. So the one thing I just don't do is gatekeep. If I've got an experience to share, I'll share it. But sometimes it just gets a bit tedious now. Keep doing it and doing it and doing it when I can just put the time and energy into me for a bit, you know. Stop giving away myself so freely. I think that's the thing. Yeah. So although I hold my energy sacred and I know what to do in a given moment, I just know so many people are suffering. I know so many people they're not living authentic lives, you know. They convince themselves they are, but really they're giving into temptation all the time, and they're making excuses as to why they can't do something. I saw a video before I go on to this one. And it's this guy. It's like a parody. You can tell the guy's trolling people, but he's making content off it. And I found it amusing. Because although I have a light side, I have a dark side too. So my humor can be quite fun, like polarizing to people. They might not get it, and it's like I find some things hilarious. And I haven't got it here. I don't think I liked it, so I was just intrigued by the comments. So the person said that everybody should be living on benefits. That's what he said. Everybody should be living on benefits 'cause I can do what I want when I want. Look at me. Um, and he was making a point, a bit like what I say there, where it's up to us how much of us we want to give away for the currency of money. And I've spoken about it so many times. It's people get triggered because they expect you to mirror their lifestyle and habits. So if someone people play the victim. This is the problem. So let's say someone goes to work and they're doing and they're working all these hours. It pays their bills. I talk about it a lot. Even when you do all that, it barely pays your bills. So what's the point? To an extent, what's the point? If you're just gonna just get by. But a lot of time people pay like they do what they do because they want things effectively. And when they see someone else isn't conforming to that ideology and they're not doing those things and they're still surviving though, they get quite malicious, they can get quite defensive and judgmental because they think, you know what, I'm doing all this and you're doing nothing. Well, that's not fair. But it's like the reality is we've got to stay in our own lane. What someone's doing should be of no consequence to you. It's what are you doing and why are you doing it? Because no matter how much you try to judge someone, it's not going to validate a situation for you. It's just not going to do it. So, for instance, people will say, "Oh, I'm working these hours for you," because obviously tax goes into things, but tax doesn't specifically go to that person. It can go on many things. It's just who knows where your amount of money went, but it's irrelevant. You're not doing it for that person. You're doing it because you understand that when you work, part of your money is getting taxed. So you can't then start acting all self-righteous and think, well, I shouldn't, I've done all this. And it's like, yeah, but you're doing that understanding you're also getting money from it. Now, look, I was making some really good money maybe a year ago and I was getting really irritated myself. The amount that was getting taxed was ridiculous. There should be like a cap. In my opinion, there should be a cap on how much gets taxed. So if you do loads of overtime and you're working your ass off, you shouldn't keep hemorrhaging money out. That's pathetic. It's like there should be a limit, a cut off. That I think that. Um, yeah, especially the hours you put in. I think when it comes to the hours you put in, maybe more to do with that. There should be a rule with it. I think about Trump, to be honest, but I don't want to go in politics. But I've heard him say something about what the overtime you do won't get taxed. That's right. That's what I'm talking about. That makes sense to me. I don't want to go too political or sort of like go too much in the financial sector. But the point is, we do things because we choose to do them, even if we feel it's forced upon us. It's like that's a choice, though. Anytime you do anything, it's a choice. Even if you don't do anything, it's a choice. We live life by choices. So, like I said, this person was getting triggered because people were getting triggered left, right, and center because the guy's saying um, that he can sit at home and watch all these movies and things, and people go mental. They're going, well, I've just done some overtime, so I've just funded it for you. And he goes, thanks for supporting the cause. He's saying things like that, and I just found it absolutely hilarious. Because there was no shame in it, and it was more a case of thanks for. It's almost like thanks for donating to me. That's how he felt. So every time someone said he just worked their ass off this week and paid loads in tax to help to fund your lifestyle, and he's like, "Oh, thank it's such a blessing. Thanks, guys. Thanks for the support." I find that hilarious. I do because I like it when people are just themselves. I know they're probably mocking them, and it's probably just a showcase. But to me, it's like people's projections onto us, it doesn't mean we have to receive those projections. It's like up to us how we perceive life and why we do things. And let's say that isn't a parody account. That person literally genuinely believes that what they're doing is the best thing. It's like what they're showing in that sense then is that other people's opinions of them really is invalid because it doesn't matter. They're living their life on their terms. However that means is supported, they don't care. Now, I think there needs to be a balance with that. I see the beauty in both. Like, I think the beauty's in the middle. I don't think you should be working yourself to death. I don't think you should be striving to do nothing. I witness people around me who have no ambition in life, and to be honest, once they start getting handouts, they're going nowhere else but handouts. And I look and think, on the one hand, you think, oh, they've got it good because you're doing all this and you don't have to put in the effort. But the reality is, it's like it's a mundane life. They wake up with no goal and dreams. So their mundane life today will be their mundane life tomorrow. When you're building towards something, your life can change. So even if your life is maybe boring and mundane today, it doesn't mean it's going to be boring and mundane in the future, because you're investing in yourself every day. You're uplifting yourself, you're inspiring yourself for more, and the work you put in will be justified in the end, hopefully. Especially when you're striving for big things. You're putting the work in. So if you're not seeing the results, that's different. At least you're putting the work in, you know. But if someone's doing absolutely nothing and they have no ambition to do anything and they're getting a handout, the real problem is their life. It's like I talk about a lot. Life has to have some sort of fulfillment. Otherwise, you wake up with no reason to exist. You wake up, no reason to exist. It's like, okay, someone's giving me free money, but you've got no purpose to your day. It's like, unless you've got structure, it's like, even so, it just doesn't make sense, does it? If you do nothing today, you're going to be doing nothing tomorrow. And if you do nothing tomorrow, you're going to do nothing next week. So the rest of your life, you're doing nothing. It's like, what sort of life is that? Now, if you're having experiences, that's different, because you're going to go on holiday, you're going to travel the world, you're going to do different things, and you have hobbies and goals and dreams. You can make it work. But the majority of those people that are in that situation, they're not actually aspiring for anything. And it's just, they think they're winning because they're being lazy. But to what end? You know, someone else, maybe they're working hard, but at least they've got purpose to their day. And it's a fulfillment of self where they feel they've achieved something and they're not rotting. And again, opportunities can come from that, for the work they do and the connections they have. And then they free themselves to have unique experiences after, through their, if depending on how they spend money. Because it all goes full circle. I don't want to go too far with this, because, you know, you can work your ass off in one area, but reality is, when, even if everybody had the same amount of money, people spend it in different ways. So you could be someone who earns a vast amount of money, but you're just so frivolous, you lose it all the time. So you're just living from paycheck to paycheck. But there could be someone who doesn't get paid as well, but they're really good with money and they've been saving up, and they actually have the opportunity to be free whenever they choose, because they've invested in themselves, but they choose not to. So there's all these little connotations. Let's not go too far with that. But reality is, the life we are living is a choice. And there's no point trying to make someone else feel bad for their choices to try to validate your choices. If you feel bad that someone's getting something for free, then leave your job and do the same thing. And if it seems scary, it's because it is. It's not easy to live like that. So you have to sell part of yourself to an extent if you to strive for that. So if you want to lose your ambitions, then by all means. But anyway, I don't want to deviate too far, because there's reasons for things. I've talked about my back issue, so I'm sort of limited to an extent in the things I can do now in terms of the jobs, and it's frustrating for me. And that's a whole other topic, because in my opinion, people that need their help rarely get it. And the ones that are looking to fleece will get everything. And it's just a real disparity in society. How much of your morals will you forego to get something? I won't, so I struggle. But I'm okay struggling. See, I make it look easy, and people might think, oh, he's not really struggling. Oh, I do. Believe me, I do. But I'm so used to it that I can manage myself through it. It doesn't overwhelm me like it would everybody else, because when you get used to something, it's just easy, you know. You just focus on what you can at a given moment. But anyway, yeah, I want to talk about this video just briefly. There's a video come up, and a couple of videos have come up recently, and it was interesting with this one, because it was kind of like, it was talking about like the devil's trying to tempt you in a different direction and things. And it's like, it makes sense, because sometimes when we get really petulant and frustrated, it could be something nagging at us to try to deviate us from our path. But I think at the same time, it's like, have a perspective to it though. Don't just sort of like, just give in and think, oh, this is a temptation. It's like, no, you can still enjoy yourself. So as soon as I was watching it, I thought, oh, maybe the gaming is the temptation, because I'm enjoying gaming. But then I thought, to be honest, I don't game all year. I don't go mad gaming all year. I'm aware that it becomes an addiction, but I'm very good at handling it. And if I've got nothing really on, then it's not hurting anybody. If I consider entertainment, whether it's movies, whether it's music, whether it's video games, whether it's reading, you know, of course, reading, you can educate and things, and there's other little things to it. But overall, I've never understood the difference. Like, so for instance, growing up, you'd have family members, during my era, would ridicule me for playing video games, for instance. But yet they're watching a movie, they're just watching TV all day, but they consider that being proactive, and video games are not. And it's like, it's just a misunderstanding of it all, isn't it? If anything, video games are more beneficial to us than movies and things, because movies is just static. You know, you're just constantly just sitting there motionless. But at least with gaming, you're making decisions continuously, and interacting, which I think is great. But TV, of course, is more sociable. So if you have people with you, it's far more sociable to enjoy something together rather than opposed to isolating. It's connotations. But anyway, so I thought about this. Now, recently I did a video. I think recently, last night. I was talking about like I'm getting fed up waiting on romance and all these things, you know. And it's going. I'm just going to throw myself in a different direction, which is the game. I'm all right as long as I'm not overthinking. I'm good, you know. And I was talking about like just I'll get on with my books in the spring. So I'm not putting things off. I literally just released one in August. It's just I put so much pressure on myself. It's a joke. So I'm like, you know what? I'm good. The next book will come out when I'm in the mood to sort of focus on it again. I think it's important that we conserve our energy and don't live life in a box. You know, if I just do book, like it becomes the same as the other people that are doing nothing. It's like because if you repetitively do the same thing over and over again, yeah, you can hone a craft, but you can burn yourself out and then you just become nothing but a robot. But it's really important we mix our life with different experiences. Otherwise, what's the point? You know, I'm not here to be a mule, and if I am, I'd refuse anyway. You know, it's like whatever. So I say a few videos come up, and it's more tarot readings, but it puts things into perspective. Not particularly. Bloody hell! I didn't know she did a really long one. I'll just do it briefly. That surprises me.
Go follow me over on YouTube and Facebook. I do give free readings over.
Before we get on to this, because I really don't want to forget, I've got my YouTube video channel over there. So when I stop making content, I still got my YouTube. But really, I've been double posting. So what I've been doing now is like I did maybe a month ago, I was talking about prioritizing YouTube. So now the videos go on YouTube, and then I take them from YouTube to TikTok. Whereas I used to prioritize TikTok first, then I forgot YouTube. But now I do it the other way around. So everything's for YouTube, then it goes over to TikTok. But I'll just explain that really. And there's food, and while I try to differentiate my TikTok if it gets extreme, my YouTube, I just don't want to keep making channels. I've got a gaming channel and some other things, but I haven't used it for a long time. So I've really just created different cover art for different topics so people would understand if they were looking at the content, whether that's interesting to them or not. And I think it's important. But it's my profile and I create how I choose. So yeah, that's just what I'd do there. So if anyone's interested in YouTube, check my link tree, or there might be another link, and it's there.
On my Facebook, it's just the Hangman. 2 major arcana. This is like big deal shit, okay? Now, the Hermit is someone who has a gut feeling. They're soul searching. They're on a journey. They're contemplating. It's like they've been enlightened. They know where they're going. They know what they're doing. The Hangman is also somebody who has had some kind of...
I just want to show something. I don't know if it's going to come out on my camera. I really don't think it's going to. But I had 73 likes, 3 comments, 7 saves on this video that I watched, which was 73, and then it was 73 up. So literally, it was like you could look at it 7337 mirror number, but it's 7. I just saw the repetitive number of 73. I'm not sure it's going to show because my camera likes to do some weird shit. Yeah, it's not going to happen. All right, you get it. You have to trust me on that one then. But yeah, the camera's so annoying. It's got this weird focus shit because it's a cheap camera.
Aha moment, reflecting, seeing things from a different perspective. Somebody might be making a sacrifice here. They're making a sacrifice to get on their path. I feel like you've been comfortable in this position, but it's like now you want to get down. Now you want to change lanes. Now you want to change positions. And it may be requiring some kind of sacrifice. Look at that, 10 of Swords. This sacrifice might be painful. But I feel like something has been a long time coming. It's time for you to be on your own. It's time for you to find out who you are, what you truly want. I feel like you've been experiencing a lot of pain, a lot of rejection, a lot of stormy shit. But it's coming to an end. And it's not going to get any worse. It's only going to get better from here. And you have been able to look at things from the bright side. Look, literally bright instead of the dark side. But even over here, the skies, the horizon, it's getting clearer. The storm is clearing. And as a result, you've matured, the Hermit. You've become more wise. You have the lantern in your hand. You know exactly the direction that you're going. Spirit, where are you headed? Or, not Spirit, shit. Collective, where are you headed? The 2 of Wands. So you're going to have a choice. It looks like you have the whole world literally in your hands. But you have a choice here. Maybe you have a choice between two places, two jobs, two partners. Tell me about the choices. Wow, Hierophant. So there is some kind of higher level commitment here. You could be graduating. You could be going towards marriage. You could be going towards conforming. You could be going towards some kind of commitment. It's like you're sticking to your belief system. You're very traditional. Very, very traditional. What's the other direction? Or what's the other option? So it's tradition versus what? Tradition versus what? Oh, you gotta be shitting me. The devil. I think I know where you're gonna go. Let's hope not you're gonna go. Let's hope not. Let's hope you're not gonna go towards the devil. The devil's waving you in. Because the devil knows once the devil has you in his binds, in his chains, it's very hard to get out. So this is like the dark and the light. But you have your hand on the wand. And it looks like you've already chosen the path.
I don't want to go too far because that's a 10-minute video, that one. I don't want to push people on a 10-minute video of someone else's content. But that was really interesting because, to be honest, it's the way I'm talking about the righteous and the temptations and it being short-lived and things. I mean, I always have a choice. So what we do, immediately when I was watching that video, I thought, to be honest, when I'm thinking about like the devil, the temptations, it could be my gaming. Like, it becomes a crux, it becomes an addiction. But I've actually got control of it, and it doesn't even feel addictive at the moment. Like, for instance, I did a video yesterday. I posted it. It was an hour's worth of gaming, but that's actually the only thing I did play in game that day, and it was just late at night. So I thought, you know what, I feel like playing something, and I was doing some other stuff on the computer. So I just thought, you know what, I'll just record this for an hour. I was actually only going to do it for 20 minutes, but it's an hour. But anyway, it was only an hour that day, So like, I'm not at that point where I'm addicted. If I'm playing something, it tends to not be for long bursts anymore. But what I think they're telling me is keep your eye on the prize, because I have the potential to lose myself. If I completely gave up on a dream, for instance, and I just said, look, romance, love's never coming. I'm always just boxed in. I'm sick of this. I try to help people. I'm not getting anywhere with it. It just gets frustrating. It's like, I'm just going to live a life where it's just simpler. I could easily do that, I could conform and live a traditional life just like everybody else does, and give myself every excuse to live the mundane. And then I could just like go, you know what? I've earned this game, or I've earned this setup. I'm just going to... And I could make myself incredibly reclusive with it and just like have no other dream and forgo it. And that'd be the devil's temptation. Is telling you, yeah, you can have everything, but it's like that's not enough though. In phases, it's fine. If that's all my life becomes, it's like that's really sad. My life has more meaning than that. And I think that's really what they would get across there. It's like just keep your eye though on it. It's like, yeah. Anyway, so where she said when they get their talent into you, it's like you can't. It's hard to get away, and it's like to a point. I'm good. I know. I recognize signs. I recognize things. There was a couple more videos. Before I go to the next one, I think I'll just go back one. This one.
It's so hard to get one over on you. You should congratulate yourself because people, they're frustrated, the devil, and they reveal themselves. I feel like you're so observant and intuitive that it will make them drop their mask after like a few tries of doing whatever they're trying to run, whatever game they're trying to run on you, and it's just not working. And I'm just seeing somebody just like getting fed up. Oh my gosh. You know that video on TikTok of the guy?
He always makes me laugh because you always see... I get videos like that and it always comes up how feisty you are and how you see things through people so quickly. And it's like when people come at you, you kind of make them look stupid, and it always makes me laugh.
Intelligent for that, and I feel like it's not a good thing for the other person if people try to play those games with you. So Spirit, please let the collective that is watching this video...
So that's that one, but let's just quickly go to this one.
Something about your voice, the frequency, the vibration, something that your voice, it carries this inspiration to others. You unlock secrets that have been held within them. It's like you're able to unlock something or jolt something within them. You're a very wise soul.
That actually makes sense. It's a little writing there that says, you crawled through the dark so you could dance in the light. I'm getting huge goosebumps right now. That's literally what it feels like. I've been through my living nightmare. I would say people, because I get signs like that people, when they witness you, they won't. Most don't realize what you've been through. And I'd say for the most part, I'm good at just keep plowing through. But I think sometimes people see through my content, like how tired I am. I'm sure there's sometimes when people would quite blatantly know, must have been through something. And yeah, sometimes you have to go through your hardest turmoils to really get the opportunity to be free. And then you can actually dance in the light.
You just understand people. You work really hard at this balance, this duality within you. I think the secret that you kind of unlock within others is just kind of a guide on how they can really come home within themselves. Something about you resonates with them and they listen. You have this very protective energy, this beautiful aura around you. And it's because you are pure. You didn't make a deal with the other side. You know how to walk the other side, but you want to dance in the light. You have this belief about yourself now, a belief about how the world works. You understand things in a more complex way. But you're a little tired of the journey.
Very tired.
But you're going to be very victorious. I think you're kind of entering this new energy where you are in your receiving mode, which is new for you. Yeah. And there's communication coming forward regarding that. There is this energy that's a little, I wouldn't say it's bad. It's just a little cunning. It's very smart. It knows how to kind of work its way through things. You are really being asked to use your discernment going forward regarding that. Any more information about that? It has to do with your rebirth. I'm also seeing like snake-like energy too. For some of y'all, that's like a Kundalini awakening. I'm not really educated in that, so forgive me. I don't know exactly, but I'm seeing that like energy coming through and causing this rebirth within you. So, okay, love you. Bye. There's something about your voice.
So that was nice. Just try and get rid of that. Yeah. Anyway, so I'm going to take a break because, as you can see, I'm absolutely exhausted. And I'm sick and tired of putting myself in different directions. I think sometimes it's a case of allowing ourselves just to be happy. I mean, just let yourself enjoy things, instead of keep balancing everything and juggling this, juggling that. It's like, just enjoy life for a little bit, not keep being on the camera doing this, like I said, I might just do the video game stuff. If I feel like recording it, I don't know if it gets, again, that can get addictive. I could easily go and create a live stream channel and just do that, but I don't really like all that. I like to play on my terms. I like to just play briefly in little sporadic moments and do other things as well. And it's just it's getting really tiring to share the healing journey, trying to hopefully inspire and encourage people to live in alignment with themselves, but also the spiritual journey. It's getting frustrating, keep showing it like I shared there, but I'm not going to keep doing that going forward. I don't want to keep doing it. It's like I do it. It's not really to prove anything. It's really to open people's eyes to things, and I'm getting a bit tired of trying to open people's eyes. It's a very heavy world we live in. Balancing it all is not easy for anyone. And I think when people just have such ingrained doctrines where their mindset is very limited, it's very hard to expand it. And, I don't want to keep wasting my time and energy trying to expand it. It's like mine's already expanded. I can just focus on me to an extent, and then it's up for people to catch up. And sometimes that's just really important that we do focus on ourselves, Like I said, I've got the other books coming out next year, and I'll decide which one comes first. There's one to deal with society in general, to some of the things I have issue with. There's another one to deal with self-healing and personal development, transformation. There's another one to do with a spiritual book. It'll be the follow-on from the last one, and it'll have new topics. And there's all other different bits I'm working on as well. So they'll come when they're ready. And I think, to be honest, on a basic level, I think personally the books are enough, that's enough of a resource for people to learn and embrace the journey. I shouldn't have to just keep giving myself so freely. And sometimes it's about that value in self. My time is precious, and it's important that I don't dedicate it to me too, and stop jumping around and feeling I need to be everywhere. Now, if I feel a calling to do something, I'll do it. I don't go against the calling. If I've got a purpose, and I can say I'm not a mule, but if I am a mule for the universe, and it's like my role is to do that, then it's kind of like I will always do what I'm supposed to do. It's just getting tiring now. I'm really exhausted. Yeah, I think the exhaustion comes from a lack of progress in some ways, and it just gets demoralizing. So, like, if a big opportunity come, all of a sudden I might go from exhausted to now I'm vibrant and I'm full of energy and I'm excited. So it's probably not an energetic thing of the point of I'm too tired to do anything. It's more like I'm too tired to do anything in the current status. It's just I'm too tired in this with this life as it is at the moment. I've outgrown it. I'm frustrated. Feel like I'm going around in circles. Like I said, Groundhog Day. I hate that movie. So to experience it myself feels like a freaking living nightmare. That's frustrating. So sometimes we just got to adapt and change something. And it's like, yeah, I don't know how many more videos I'm going to do in this vein, because to be honest, like I said, I think there's enough of them. I can only keep bashing my head so many times to share this experience, and say, it's like I've shared enough of those experiences now. People don't need a personal window into my life to like, this is what I'm doing today. This is how I feel today. This is the challenge I'm coming up against. This is what I'm doing. I don't want to live like that. I'm not going to live my life like the Truman Show. I don't even know if Truman Show was in camera, to be honest. I don't know if his life was on camera. I can't remember the film too much. I wasn't really a big fan of it, but I got what it was. It was like the Big Brother thing, wasn't it? Where your life is entertainment for others, really. And he was just like literally everything was all pre-instructed for him, wasn't it, without him knowing. So again, we can unravel that, but it's not. Yeah, so it's worth checking out my YouTube channel if people haven't already. It's far more organized than my TikTok, because TikTok are really terrible with cover designs. But with YouTube, I've managed to do different covers for different things. So, for instance, if someone just wants the spiritual information, you'll see the spiritual cover. Just find a spiritual playlist. You'll find some education on that. If you're interested in self-help development, you're looking at just maybe what different outlook on life, maybe some of the things I'm going through, you'll find it in the Thinking Out Loud. I think there's a far more episodes of that. My new recent video diary really is me just rambling about life in general, my circumstance, me frustrated, or what I'm going through and things. And I think it's just sometimes that little journal like that might be healing to people, a bit like what I'm doing now. I've also got a gaming videos where I get a specific game for each video, and again, it's very obvious. You don't have to watch them if you're not interested in that content. So I've got some narration videos where I like reading. And I really enjoy doing them. I truly enjoy doing them. It takes me away from the mundane and the typical day and gives me something different to do. I like to challenge myself in different avenues, and that's just a new way for me. It's not something where I expect a big audience or anyone to really be interested, but I'm genuinely interested when I do it, and I'm truly enjoying the moment. So all I'm doing is enjoying myself while I share it with other people, and I think that's a beautiful thing. So I don't need people to recognize it or appreciate it, because I enjoy doing it. And while I enjoy doing things, I'll literally give my time to it. So there'll be more of them when I'm in the mood to do it. Because sometimes we lose ourselves. Like if I'm gaming and watching movies, for instance, sometimes that negates or minimizes the opportunity or my interest in reading. But yet when I'm reading, I'm really enjoying it. So I really want to find balance to my days where I can literally fit different things in, and then life becomes a bit more interesting. But that's really where I need to sort of get to. Like I say, if I keep doing videos left, right, and center, it just takes me away from other opportunities. But yeah, I'm really happy with my YouTube channel. I really should have been focusing. It was growing for a while. I went a year without it, and then I come back, and I just think from now on, YouTube is where I'm going to be creating my archive, my library, but expanding it elsewhere when I choose to, But that's my central hub for video content. And yeah, I'm enjoying the process, really. But as you can see, I am truly exhausted. In all honesty, I'm truly exhausted because I stayed up to about 3 or 4 in the morning, and last night and the night before I was up till 6 in the morning. And I'm someone that used to go like reasonably. A few months ago, I was going to bed like 10 p.m. all the time. It was like clockwork. Now I keep trying to extend the day. It's like I'm desperate to try and get as much out of the day as I possibly can. So if it gets away from me during the day, I try to make it up at the night. That's literally what that is, and has a knock-on effect. So when we don't find a good routine, it can have a knock-on effect. So now I'm spending the day feeling like I'm winning because I did more last night. I had longer last night. But now I'm also really tired, which affects my quality of life during the day. These are all little decisions we need to figure out, you know? So yeah, when I say I'm tired, I'm like, in this sense, I'm literally tired. I'm tired. So I've only had like 4 hours sleep, I think, and I'm running on empty, on fumes. And yeah, I still sit here doing this video. I'm truly exhausted, and yet I still continue to throw myself out there in the hope that it just lands to one person and helps them. And my videos haven't got a lot of attention to date, but I do recognize that some people have interacted. And for me, that means, you know, it's helping that person. And I think because of that, that pushes me to create. Because it's all about an individual, isn't it? It's not always about like millions or thousands of millions. It can sometimes just be one person. If you help one soul, you've done something great in this world. And that's why I see it. So I don't devalue the help it gives. So yeah, that's why it created it really. But I can't. I just need a break because sometimes I think we need new experiences to talk upon new things. Yeah, that'd be nice.